Hey, what's going on? This is Sunshine.
And Eve.
And what time is it?
It's story time. Yes, it's story time. Yes, it is. We got some stories.
But before we get into this, when we get story time, it's just something new to us. I just keep forgetting to let you all know. Do me a favor, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, also share, comment below. All right, let's go. All right, this is story time. And we have questions, and we have like pick one or get rid of two, different things. This is more of a scenario thing. Okay, and I was talking with a few people about certain things, and it kind of sparked up something about people. Because when you talk about people are not all 100% one way or another way. You know, especially when you talk about politics and other little things. People tend to think the other person is just totally one way, but I don't think that's how it is. And there's what people talk about, evil people. Like you have good people and bad people, or evil people, however you want to put it. And my personal opinion is, and I'm going to give a scenario and we'll discuss that. But my personal opinion, you can give your opinion. I think outside of people that actually have some kind of mental, emotional defect, chemical imbalance, something like that, outside of that, just the everyday person, regardless of the lifestyle they live, I believe if they're put in the right, I shouldn't say right, under certain circumstances, if all them circumstances line up, will do the right thing, regardless of what life they live. Okay, I'm gonna give a scenario later, but that's just my thought. Just in general, what would you feel about that situation? People put in the right position or circumstances will do the right thing. When I say it, I'm not talking about your everyday person, go to work every day, pay their taxes. I'm talking about anybody, whether it's a person that's in prison, drug dealer down the street, prostitute on the corner, whatever. If the right position or situation come up, they would do the right thing. Do you believe that?
No.
Good, that's good. So we had posing. I do.
Oh, okay. You do?
I do believe if people put in the right situation. Okay. So here's this. Oh, go ahead.
Because I feel like there are people that are placed in certain situations.
Okay.
And still don't do the right thing.
Okay.
When it's laid out for them, still don't.
Right. And see, that's, I think, the mindset that people have that are basically good people. You're basically a good person. That don't mean you 100% do everything right. And I also feel, on the other hand, that a bad person, a person we consider bad or evil, outside of, like I said earlier, they have some mental things they can't control. I just don't think that they're all 100% right. There's people that cuss every day, all day long until they get around their mother. So in that particular situation, they control that. Okay? Because they was put in the situation. Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel. See, what you say is, since they're put in the situation, you saying that situation is good enough for them to do the right thing. But for them, it's not. But you think it is because you're looking through their eyes. Right. So here's a scenario I'm going to give you. And y'all tell me what you think. I'm going to give my opinion, and I'm going to let you take yours at the end. Here's a scenario. There's a guy, has a long rap sheet, been in and out of jail, prison, just the bad dude. You know, has from robbery to assault, stolen cars, just everything. And so what happens, there's an issue with him that he needs $300. I got to have $300. Remember, there's a store on the corner. I could probably hit that store and get my $300. For whatever reason, I need $300. So he goes, he said, okay, I'm going to need a few things. I don't want the person to recognize who I am, so I'm going to get something to pull over my face so they don't know who I am. And of course, to show my will or force my will on them, I'm going to need some kind of weapon, so I'm going to bring my gun. So he goes to the store, sits on the corner of the store, on the side of the corner, looking at the store, waiting for the last customer to come out. It's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, dark. So he goes, he said, okay, that last person that's left the store, here's my chance to go and get that $300 that I need. He check his hip. Okay, the gun's already locked and loaded. I'm all good. He pulls out his little skull cap to pull over his face, and he's going to pull it down over his face. And just before he pulls it over his face, he looks on the ground. He sees a little envelope like the one from the bank. He picks that thing up, open it up, $1,000. Do you believe he still will rob that store? I don't think he would, because situations have changed for him. Even though he's still a bad guy in the sense of what a bad guy is, now he's in a different scenario. I needed 300. I just found 1,000. I don't believe he would still go in there and rob that store, because he could take that 300 and put it on top of that 1,000 and have 1,300 now. But because he only needs 300, now he has 1,000. I think he'll put that skull cap back in his pocket, uncock the gun, put that money in his pocket, throw the envelope on the ground, and walk away with his $1,000. That's what I think will happen.
Maybe. But if you're a criminal and you're in a bad mindset, we tend to be greedy humans.
Right.
Everyone's greedy, whether it's food or whether it's I gotta have more, and even our salaries, we live beyond our means all the time. So if if he just needed $300, like I said, he can still rob the store. He's just saying $300. But I can have more, possibly. I'm already a criminal. I've already got a rap sheet. What else I got to lose?
Criminals don't...
I'm not saying that he wouldn't do it.
Right.
But the likely chances of him not pursuing what he originally came to do, I think he would still do it.
The reason why I feel... there's several reasons, but a lot of things you have to put the mindset. Because in your mind, you say he's an evil person. Why does he care? He's already had a rap sheet. If he didn't care, he would have robbed the store with the people in it too. But he's trying to get his best case scenario to get his $300. So
that's what I said.
He waited till nighttime. He made sure he had a weapon. He wanted to cover his face and wanted the store to be empty. So there's a lot of things he set up for him to get that $300.
Yeah.
Something came along where now there's another element in it. I just don't believe that person, no matter what their rap sheet, with that mindset of wanting $300, now has 1,000 that he could just walk away and not have to worry about any of that stuff. I think he'll walk away. That's my personal opinion. So when I say, like, for a person like you still look at him as a bad person, which he's probably...
I'm not saying bad people can't be...
Yeah, I'm just saying, I never said that a bad or evil person... Their ways have changed because of it. Now they stop becoming... I just think put in a certain situation, they will do the right thing. Or they won't do the wrong thing. Based on that scenario. So I say, had he looked down and opened that and there was nothing in it, he's continuing on the store. But because he had 3 times or more than 3 times in what he wanted, he starts saying, okay, the best thing for me to do now is take this $1,000 and go home.
I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm just kind of looking at the fact that he's a criminal or been a criminal.
Right.
Okay. And in his mind, he said, I need $300. Usually, where would he pick up? Where would he just say, I just need $300? Whether it was to pay a bill, whether it was to whatever. If your mission was to go out there and steal, that was your mission to go out there and steal.
Yeah.
So did you think he was going to go into that store regardless of he let the people out? Still, you taking something that don't belong to you. First of all.
Right.
Secondly, in your mind, did you think that he would go in there and say, I need $300, give me $300? He's going to go in there and give me all you got.
Oh, exactly. But I'm just saying he's making that best. He's trying to guess where the best place he can get. But here's what I'm saying is he's making decisions based on a lot of things. We already brought up the things about the people in the store, the hoodie or the thing over his face, the gun, and make sure the store is clear. He looked at all those things. Mm-hmm. The other thing he probably looked at is this store was probably the best. Now that store, he may say that store might have $300-400, but there's a check cashing place next to it. They got thousands, but they got armed security, got cameras, and they got a security guard at the door, or armed security. It's the same thing, but in wires and or bars on the. So he's even though I can get several $1,000s if I'm successful here, and over here, this is my best case.
What do you guys think? I don't know.
I just think I understand that, but I think good people look at good people like you. You look at that situation where that's what I'm saying about our evil people evil. That's why I look at that where is a person just evil? Is that they will do it regardless? Now, if the person has some kind of psychological problem, some in chemical balance, something that's going on in them where they couldn't control it, they probably would still go rob that store. But I think a person that's just bad because they're doing bad things, when you put them in a different environment, a different situation, they make different choices. Because his preparation was for what he thought he was going to do, but he didn't have to do that anymore. So he made a different choice. And it's beautiful that you think that way, because that opens up the discussion for people to deal with that part of our society that we have to deal with. We can't treat them and deal with them the same way we treat as a law-abiding citizen. You know, some things you have to take temptation away from people. And that's what helps the situation survive. Even though you shouldn't have to do it, ultimately it might be the best.
Yeah, and I mean, you've said over the course of years, there's no one person all the way evil, no one person all the way good. We all got both in us. I see. You know, so I mean, the likelihood. I'm just saying the likelihood based on his background. You know, unless he's just a individual that says, I'm just going to do the right thing. I was blessed, $1,000. You know what? I'm so glad. At least now I got my 300, like you said, 3 times whatever, and walk away. I don't know. I just...
That's, that's one weird, and it's funny because as I was telling putting the scenario in perspective, I thought that maybe you were like, okay, yeah, I can see that, but that's good for the discussion for other people I'm sure there's other people that feel the same way. I just think that because most people make excuses for why they do what they do. Like that person can make excuses how their life is, and that's why they end up doing the things they're doing. They're almost in sense saying, had things been different, I would have done different. So I just believe that person put in different situations would make different choices. Yeah. So had he like you said, had he found $100, he's still going to the store. But in his mind, as long as I get another 200, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I hit it for 2. I don't have to go nowhere else.
Yeah, because you know the saying, and I'm no disrespect to anyone, but I'm just saying, you know the saying, you can dress you up, but you can't take them out. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. You can take someone and put them in a person in a certain neighborhood, and I don't know if I'm going off on a tangent, come from a certain neighborhood and put him in a luxurious, neighborhood. Do you not think that, they still won't have, the car sitting on bricks and,
if they had, if they had the money going along with, they will feel that's all right, and they would probably do it if they had to do it. But most people that's doing that are people don't have the money to keep their cars up. They got to buy one tire at a time. So I understand that theory. But had he had the money that his neighbor had, he wouldn't have that car sitting out on the front lawn. He would have his grass cut probably.
Sometimes people's mindset doesn't change.
Yeah, I understand that, but a lot of times it's linked with the economics. Those people that have, there's some people that they have an issue, they fix it right away because they can afford to fix it right away. Some people have to hold off. Some people go halfway and I'll pick it up later. It's just, a lot of times when it comes to that scenario you gave me, it's more economics than anything because they want to pay it, but they just don't have. They got to weigh. Okay, we got to do this.
I'm not saying pay it. I'm saying what you do, in the projects or the hood, and then you take this to, you're saying you don't change that mentality.
Yeah, like he may still park on the grass, saying it's my property, I can park on it. So yeah, if the neighborhood say you shouldn't park on your grass, you should park on the driveway, he'll probably, if you feel like you need to park on the grass, he'll park on the grass. That's his mentality. I understand it. But as far as the car sitting out there, that's more of an economic. I can't afford to get this. So it's okay if I sit this until I get the money. So and that's his logic to it. But I agree that there's certain things that they do that they say I should be able to do this. This is my property. The neighbor don't worry about me. I don't worry about them. So I'll be willing to do that. But I think some of it comes to economics. So, but y'all tell us what you want to think. I don't go on, but y'all tell us what y'all think about this. And I'm glad that we had a different view on this because once again y'all can see this is what the E-Shine is all about. How do we view things and what kind of our character, what type of people we are. I'm the type of person that's real loving and want to help the person out. She want to put them in
am not that type of individual.
Lock them up.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm just kidding.
Be honest with you. All of my friends have always told me I'm that one that would, you know, I had a girlfriend of mine that said, she said, I trust no one. And I was like, I trust everybody until you give me a reason not to trust you. You give me that reason, then I start trusting you. She said, nope, I don't trust you until you give me a reason to trust you.
Right.
So that is far from the truth. No, I mean, and that's my issue with myself, is that I always trust. That's my first instinct.
But I gave you a scenario, and you in your lies, he gave you a reason not to trust him. That's why you thought he'd still go to the store and get the other 300 bones.
All right, we're going to end this.
But anyway, but y'all tell us what y'all think. But before we go and before we leave, do us a favor. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, also share and comment below. And I do believe that's it.
This is it. Thanks for listening
to Sunshine and Eve.